Good evening, everybody. How you doing? My name is Dr. Ulysses Jackson, and I felt it necessary, to go full-fledged with this YouTube channel and kind of let y'all know who I am and, some things about me. I'm a real doctor, I don't play one in a movie. I'm a real doctor. Go to your licensing board in the state of New York and you can Google that, look me up. And I appreciate all the love and support that I'm getting from those that know me and from those that don't know me. I started this journey, man, I would put up inspirational posts. Nothing more or less than anybody else would do. Every morning, put up a post, get some likes and stuff like that. And wasn't a big fan of social media. I thought that a lot of people's personal life should be kept personal. But we're going to get into that. What I want to do is just kind of let y'all know who I am, because there's so many people that come on these platforms and they share their truth and they share whatever it is that they're doing. And I respect it and I'm entertained by some is informational. But I found a need to kind of get into who I am and some things that I do over the past few months, since the COVID emergency declaration is over now and people are coming out more. I just thought that it was about that time. So the question of this right now is going to be, who is Dr. Ulysses Jackson? Who am I? This is not in chronological order, but I'm going to give you a piece of who I am. I'm going to jump around. See, my first love and passion was for the music industry. I always wanted to jump in and be a part of it. And then when I realized that there was no real room for me there because I wasn't a singer, a dancer, or producer, a friend of mine, suggested I do some promotion. Moving around, I ran into Dr. Dre from the East Coast. Formerly known working with Ed Lover and Dr. Dre from Yo MTV Raps and Hot 97. I worked with Dre for 9 years. I was fascinated with the industry and how it was moving and everything. Never once did I want to pick up that mic. Never once did I want to get behind that board and be a producer. I said, you know what? I'm comfortable. I know what I'm doing. I know my lane. I'm going to stay here. This is what I'm comfortable at. So I was doing promotions, then I became Dr. Dre's personal assistant, and I worked with him for 9 years. Shout out to Dre from Westbury, the Bomb Squad, Hank Shockley. I worked with all of them. I was around all of them, especially Dre. And he gave me my in to the industry, where I got to meet a lot of people going back and forth, pirate radio down in, Miami when it was going down. And, I got name dropping some people that's very big now was doing that. And I was at the forefront going down there and staying on Collins Avenue, being invited by Luke and the Two Live crew with Dr. Dre. And I'm taking this all in, trying to figure out my lane, but I'm taking all this in. Again, never once saying, you know what, let me write a rhyme. Never wrote a rhyme. Never got behind a production board. So if we fast forward, after doing a lot of marketing, I ran into a friend of mine from Long Island named Theo Brown, and he was working at Def Jam. So he gave me an opportunity to do some marketing there. And that's when the Young Jeezy project was coming out. And we were just amazed that, like, the Snowman, dude from Atlanta, yay, with the ad was crazy out there. I mean, it was a zoo. But at the same time, he was coming out, and he was also signed to Bad Boy. So Bad Boy had a street team that was promoting Boys in the Hood. So me being from Long Island and me going to the city every day and working with some other marketing people, Shampoo and all of them, YVS, so, what I'm saying, shout out to Pooh. It was fun. We made it fun out there. And then when Young Jeezy got on a commercial or on CNN saying, hey, can't stop the Snowman, we got to ban the Snowman, he went berserk, because that was free promo for him. And that energy kept coming. The energy just kept coming where I'm in love with this. I'm like, wow, this can't get no bigger. I'm in it, but I'm not in it. So I'm watching him and his success. I'm going to shows. And at first I'm thinking, you part of the street team, you gonna be, riding the van with the rap on in it. Nah, the love was so crazy that I can't even name my bosses at that time. You know what I'm saying? But Peck Odds, Yvette, the Valley, yeah, they was there like, encouraging us. They put batteries in our back. You know what I'm saying? They had the street team moving and shaking. It wasn't nothing we wouldn't do for them to make sure that the artists got known. This is the beginning of MySpace era. This is when the street team was real important. So that's where the passion and the love to do that work came in. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm running around, I'm with Neo. You know what I'm saying? We with everybody. You know what I'm saying? Everybody came up, Rick Ross, Rihanna. Everybody came. That's why the love and the connection to this was there from the music industry. But I'm going to show you how I progressed to become a doctor. So after we moving around doing all that marketing, it was just love and it was fun. But as they would say, all good things come to an end. Instagram started blowing up. Facebook started blowing up. Twitter started blowing up. Everything would become internet-based. So now I'm out there in Manhattan, Jersey. I'm running around doing urban street promotion. But like I said, this is not in chronological order. I had already had an associate degree in business administration. I had already had a bachelor's degree in social work. I was doing it because that was the love and the passion. I had got a bachelor's in social work from Norfolk State, Virginia. I was the oldest one on the street team doing it for the love. You know what I'm saying? And things started to progress. Prior to that, I come from a Pentecostal background, raised in the church. And with that happening, growing up on Long Island, ran into a bunch of real people that was doing real things. And never had been in trouble prior to this. Ran into a brother who had, been incarcerated. And when he came home, he was talking about the message from Master W.D. Fard and Islam and the Nation of Islam and the 5% Nation. And what attracted me to that was it was a history, but it was about me. It was about the things that we was doing. It was about black people in America being more than just being called the N-word and being called less than. It was uplifting. And I'm 15 years old at the time. As I said, it's not in chronological order. So, but that was the foundation seed to, and we're going to progress to that PhD, because I just love what's the speed of light? What's the speed of sound? What's the square miles of the planet Earth? What's the distance of the sun to the moon? What's solar facts? What's actual facts? I'm in my book of life. I'm going ham, and I'm loving this. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my enlightened Prince Shabazz, and he gave me that name, Born Original. And I took that everywhere that I went. That now, I'm inside. I know the Bible, I know the church, because that's where I came from. But it was something about learning about who I am, and that I'm more than just the N-word. You know what I'm saying? And I really gravitated to that. A lot of science, a lot of mathematics. So as I started, once I left Def Jam and I already had a bachelor's and also I had an associate's degree, I said, what's the next step? And I started looking in the research as far as what does it take to get a master's in mental health? What does it take to get a PhD? And at that time, I was owing some money from student loans they would get ready to come due. So I knew one of the keys to not have to pay back the student loan was to actively be in school. So I said, this is starting to be a breeze to me. Let me jump back in school. So I jumped back in school and I registered for my master's program in counseling and social work. I'm doing what I got to do. You know what I'm saying? I'm moving forward. And I'm adding on all the time. I started Googling how many PhDs was in America. And I started noticing that the statistics said it was less than 2%, not counting women or African Americans. So I said, you know what? This is something that I want to do, and I'm going to pursue that. So again, fast forward, I get my PhD in clinical research with a specialization in mental health. So now I'm like, all right, cool. I done got my experience with Def Jam. I started working a few rehabs because I also became a KSAC, I got those credentials. I'm a KSAT is a certified or credentialed alcoholism and substance abuse counselor in New York State. You know what I'm saying? So I said, okay, so now I'm a doctor, I have a PhD, I specialize in mental health and substance abuse. Let's rock and roll. So now I'm working in a rehab. I'm doing well. My license comes in. So now I'm going to write my own ticket. I'm about to be in private practice and do me. You know, shout out to everybody that supported me and encouraged me and told me to move on and keep it going. And that was part of my journey. So now COVID hits, 2019. Everything goes into lockdown. Everything goes into lockdown. So now I'm working in a rehab and I have my private practice, but everything's on lockdown. So this is one thing I didn't know. It broadened the horizon for the work that I was doing. Because prior to COVID and me living on Long Island, I could only see people in Long Island. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to my brother Kason. You know what I'm saying? We was setting up a business just for you. So we have an office in Bohemia, and only people we could see at that time are from Long Island. COVID hits. Telehealth explodes. Now, this is where a mirror comes in. I give credit to where it's due. It's like when I wrote that dissertation. I couldn't quote nobody without giving credit to the author. So if you hear me say somebody's name, it's required. So I run into a mirror. She sees me on Facebook. And she shouts me out, tell me to join the team, whatever. But what she did, the biggest jewel she gave me was she broadened my horizon to touch more people in the state of New York. She said, you're licensed in the state. Use that license. So my clientele from telehealth went from Syracuse to Long Island to the Hamptons throughout the 5 boroughs. So my clientele, 9 times out of 10, you might go to my page from credentialing to see me as a counselor, and it's going to say, I'm not taking no clients. But every now and then, when I got some rotation, I'll take it off. But 85 to 90% of the time, I'm full. And I pride myself on that. And I pride myself on people sticking with me through their journey of recovery or through discovery in the mental health. You know, I really appreciate that. Then people were telling me, hey, you know, you have to get on social media. As I said earlier, I'm like, what's personal is personal. What's private is private. You don't just go up there and just say everything about you. So people are like, yo, in this world we live in today, if you don't have a social media active and popping, you ain't nobody. So I'm like, I did the suit and tie thing every day at work. I did the button up. I wanted to get more relaxed and be who I am. So I said, you know what? If I'm going to do social media, I'm going to do it on my term because I don't have a boss. You know what I'm saying? I said, I don't have a boss. So I said, I'm going to just go ahead and do it. So then they said, you got some choices. You got Instagram, you got Facebook, you got Twitter, and you got TikTok. I said, TikTok? That sounds like something for little kids. So then I, as a researcher that I am, I went online and I started looking up who's on TikTok. I started noticing some of the biggest celebrities, some of the biggest athletes, some of the biggest preachers and pastors. Everybody had a TikTok page. So I said, okay, I got to jump into this TikTok game. But I'm not jumping into this TikTok game and this Instagram page and Facebook page going full blown just to do it. And as I said from the beginning of this is not a clinical session. Do not take this as therapy. I'm just telling you part of my story and how I got here. So y'all can say when you like something or you follow me, know what you're gonna get from me. You know what I'm saying? Know what you're gonna get from me. So I started to do these videos, right? And I started noticing that a lot of people was following me. A lot of people was liking me. I'm getting like 3,000 to 4,000 views every week. So I said to myself, wait a minute. What I'm saying, someone's listening to. So now I said, what am I gonna feed? What am I feeding? What am I gonna say? For me, like I said with the music, I don't dance. I don't think y'all want to see me get up here and start dancing. So I said, let me stay in my lane. Again, staying in my lane and doing the thing that I have to do. And going back to the music industry, when I got there, I said, what am I gonna do to make me stand out different? So I wasn't just handing out flyers. I created a magazine called Promo Magazine. And everybody at Def Jam, through that Neo, through that Rihanna first era, all those people that worked up on 57th Street, Manhattan, that worked in that building, you had to know Original from Promo. Shout out to Jeff Dixon, Disturbing the Peace, Alamo. All of them embraced me. You know what I'm saying? And that's why when I talk about encouragement, I'm not talking about my girl. I'm not talking about my son. I'm not talking about my mom. I'm talking about other people that I met that said, yo, whatever you do, do. Even the big homie up there that runs the whole show. I ain't got to say his name. Biggest artist. He always would say, listen, man, find something you love and do it. Don't do what I love. I rap. Do what you do. So my passion from my journey became, you know what? This educational thing is something that I love. That's why when you check my stats, man, I graduated from my PhD, magna cum laude. And I would have never in a million years thought that. Because I didn't grow up with other doctors. You know what I'm saying? Again, so I stayed in my lane. And what's happening now is I see people get on social media and discuss mental health issues. And it touches my heart because it's so dear to me. And it took me so long and so hard work studying every night to become credentialed. And when I became licensed mental health counselor and a PhD research, my committee members looked me in my face and they said, yo, Dr. Jackson, welcome. From this day forward, you are considered an expert in the field. Who? Yeah, you. They said it, not me. They said, you are an expert in the field of clinical research in mental health. And I didn't say that. So what I say, I think holds some value. But as we go back, I was taught at a young age, we don't speak on what we don't know. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes to this mental health, this is a passion for me. You know what I'm saying? I live for this type of stuff. So if you have any questions about me, my website is available. My phone number is available. I'm not going to say what it is, but all you have to do is go to your Google, not mine, go to your Google and just type in Dr. Ulysses Jackson. And everything about me will come up, And I'm doing this for y'all. I'm doing this because it's a passion. I'm doing this because, I see people writing books. I see people with their experiences. And like I said, I don't care if I had 5 people that listen to me or 500, My bread and butter comes off of clinical research and counseling every day. So this stuff here, what I'm doing, is for y'all. And I had a friend, he became a good friend. He said to me, Doc, I'm going to start a TikTok page because of you. And I said, why? He said, because every time you put up a post, I'm going to like it. And your YouTube, I'm going to like it and share it. And I said, why? He said, because it's like running for president. Every vote counts. And that really touched me because I was like, man, here go a person I just met within the last 6 months that told me, yo, you can do it. And people that I grew up with my whole life, some look at me, give me the flat tire. Psst. Some held me up. Some look in silence. And to add on to that, it's like these posts that I put up some days, for some of y'all that don't know, when y'all view them, in the background, it shows who viewed it. And sometimes it would touch me and I say, well, so-and-so didn't like it or so-and-so didn't. And we see all of that. I can see you went to my page, you stopped, you looked, but hitting that like button was like lifting up some bricks. You know what I'm saying? But that's where some people at sometimes. And I only mention that because, sometimes it touches me, especially when a stranger steps up and says, yo, I got your back. And I'm like, who are you? Where you coming from? And they say sometimes your biggest supporters, your biggest fans, may be some people that you don't know. You know what I'm saying? So my goal when I do this stuff, man, is give you some accurate information, especially when it comes to mental health. I'm not up here to debate. I'm not up here to dish nobody. Why? Because I'm comfortable with me. You know what I'm saying? This ain't for ratings. This ain't for a bunch of likes. Those that do hit that like button, I appreciate it so much. Because from without you, it was no me. This is why I said today, let me give them who I am and share this with them. Again, man, it's not me alone that do this. I don't make these decisions. We make these decisions, man. So this is Dr. Ulysses Jackson. Thanks for following me. Hit that subscribe and like button. You know what I'm saying? Any questions you got with mental health counseling, hit me. If you're a PhD student, learner, and you need to, some information on the journey, however it can go, I always respond to some emails, and I'm just here, man. I'm trying to give back to those what was so freely given to me. Dr. Ulysses Jackson. Thanks for listening.